Okay, with Lord's Day 51, the Catechism deals with the next petition of the Lord's Prayer: forgive us our debts as we also have forgiven our debtors. And it asks, what does the fifth request mean? And it says, because of Christ's blood, do not hold against us, poor sinners that we are, any of the sins we do or the evil that constantly clings to us. Forgive us just as we are fully determined, as evidence of your grace in us, to forgive our neighbors. All right, three quick things here from Lord's Day 51. The first is that the Catechism is intentionally referencing the phrase here, because of Christ's blood. And it's doing so in order to make sure that we don't think that we're somehow earning the forgiveness of God by forgiving other people. Rather, that this forgiveness that we're able to extend is because of what we received through Christ's blood. So because of Christ's blood, we have our forgiveness in God, and it makes that clear here right at the beginning. So we're not earning our forgiveness from God by our forgiveness of other people. That's the first quick thing. The second quick thing is the next thing that would connect to then, which is our forgiveness of our neighbor is evidence, as it says, of his grace in us. So it says, forgive us just as we are fully determined, as evidence of your grace in us to forgive our neighbors. So it's not as though we're doing it to earn the forgiveness of God. The forgiveness that we're able to extend to our neighbors is an evidence of the grace of God in us, which testifies to the fact that we have been forgiven by God already. That's the second quick thing. And the third thing then is that our forgiveness of others serves as a proof, or if you will, a barometer of our sanctification. And God links them together like this in this petition in order to continue to propel us forward in this ongoing sanctification. Forgiveness of others is often a very central challenge to our old nature. And so, given the fact that we are redeemed, that we have received the forgiveness of God, God continues to propel us forward in our sanctification by reminding us that one of the things that goes along with that salvation, that the justification, the forgiveness that he gives us, is our growing in our ability to extend that to others. And so that's embedded here in this petition as that reminder and sort of that a creator of a sense of urgency in us to remind us that we cannot simply go on believing that we can continue to embrace the forgiveness of God without that ongoing sense of urgency to extend that forgiveness to others around us. And that's related, we've talked about this a number of times as we've gone through the Catechism, this idea of what I would call dynamic perseverance. The perseverance of the saints is not an invisible process that happens outside of our knowledge. The perseverance of the saints is not something that happens despite our resistance to God's will. The perseverance of the saints happens by the inner working of God's word and spirit as he continues to bind us to himself through the gospel. Reminding us that sin is not safe, that we must continue to cling to God through Christ, and that one of the things that means is, as this whole section of the Catechism has been explaining, what our gratitude looks like, and that is that ongoing sanctification, the ongoing surrender of our wills to his will. So dynamic perseverance is a very, 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 very important concept because that's where we live as Christians. We come to faith once, but we are ongoingly, in an ongoing way, renewed in the faith, deepened in the faith, sanctified in the faith every day of our lives thereafter. So it's right where the rubber meets the road. It's where we live and breathe on a day-to-day basis. And so it's an incredibly important thing for us to remember. And those are three quick things from Lord's Day 51.